You're listening to The Ship Less Traveled, where small ships make big impressions.
We're two travel agents with a big obsession for small ship cruising.
From the Arctic to the Amazon, from European rivers to remote islands, if you can reach it by small ship, we're all about it.
We're curious, candid, and not afraid to say it like it is. So grab your life jackets.
Because you're cruising on The Ship Less Traveled. Oh, Canada, it is Canada Day, July 1st, and we love Canada here at The Ship Less Traveled. Because I'm Canadian, I'm Dave Wentworth with DestinationWhatever.com.
And I'm British Canadian, and I'm Lorraine at bespokecruiseholidays.co.uk.
Perfect. And we actually met in Canada, for people that don't know our story already, in Halifax on a British ship. So, I mean, it's been like this since the beginning for us.
It
But
has. Good,
yeah,
good old Queen Victoria.
oh, exactly. In Canada and England obviously have a special relationship. We don't need to pontificate about that because people already know it. But like Lorraine, what does Canada mean for you? Like, when did you first start being aware of Canada or coming to Canada? How did it begin?
Actually, I first visited Canada in my early teens with my parents. We went over to Toronto and had a brilliant holiday there. And we did Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal on that visit. And my husband has been all over Canada. Like he loves it. There's nowhere he hadn't been apart from the Maritimes at that point that we were looking to move across. And actually, we were always looking to move to Ontario. Kind of Ontario was where we thought we were headed.
Right.
And literally last minute, we went to an immigration fair in London and we bumped into a couple of real estate agents from Halifax, and they literally blasted Halifax. Like they were all about it, and you should come across and have a look at Nova Scotia. It's amazing, blah, blah, blah. So if I, do you know what? Let's just go. And if we don't like it, we can move on. And of course, we loved it and we settled there and six years. So yeah, and while there we visited PEI and New Brunswick and never made it to Newfoundland, but that's on my list. But yeah, the Maritimes as a whole are really beautiful. Yeah. Really lovely to go and see, especially in the fall, of course, with all the leaves
Oh,
changing and
yes.
the
That's
best time in Canada. I mean, the winter, forget it for me. Spring didn't exist. Summer was very hot and fall was perfect.
I mean, I think you're right. For people that don't know, I mean, I agree that fall's the best. I grew up in Nova Scotia down the Annapolis Valley. I don't know if you made any visits down that
We
way.
did a few times.
Yeah,
Loved it down there.
it's beautiful. I mean, especially in the fall, that's when I love it. It's where apples grow. They get the apple trees, you get the turn of colors, you get everything. There's just, I mean, there's so much beautiful stuff in Canada. And when you look at the map, Canada, it is surrounded by water on three sides. And so we have a lot of opportunities to explore Canada by water. So when I hear you mentioning coming to Newfoundland, which is a must, I think about really cool small ship cruises that can help you explore the nooks and crannies of Newfoundland. So, I mean, why don't we just start talking a bit about Newfoundland? Because Newfoundland is the furthest in the east. It is the closest to the UK. It was a part of the UK until like 75, 76 years ago, not that long ago. And
Yeah, I mean,
so
that's amazing.
we have all these, like, yeah, we have these connections, right? And I live close to Gander Airport, which has a huge connection with transatlantic and getting people from one side of the pond to the other. And of course, in not so recent history, but fairly recent history, with the events of 9/11, receiving the airplanes and the movie or the film, the
Mhm.
theater, Come From Away. So I don't know if it's been turned into a movie or a film yet, but it should be. And if it is, I said it here first on this podcast, so make sure I get my opening. But so Newfoundland, we've got all these connections transatlantically. But again, I think it's a great spot for sailing because the small ships that come around here, they are getting so close to the icebergs. There was one just the other day because it is iceberg season in St. Anthony's, and which is up in the north of our province. And I mean, the icebergs there, the landscapes there, the small ship is there. That's everything I think somebody would want coming here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And the whole Maritimes in themselves, I mean, obviously I don't know Newfoundland. It's somewhere I'd love to go, and hopefully I will be invited to your home at some point. I know I have been already, I just haven't made the effort to come. Um, but you know, Newfoundland definitely, is one to hit first on your travels across from the UK. But I think the other provinces, I mean, Nova Scotia is full of things to do for tourists. I mean, just being down at the Halifax waterfront is somewhere I always love to be in the summer, grabbing an ice cream and walking along the waterfront there. But also, getting off to Peggy's Cove and seeing the beautiful lighthouse and um, the graves of Titanic
Oh,
and doing
yes.
that museum and all of that's just really fascinating to me. And I'm glad I saw it all while I was there. It's definitely a lot to fit in on a cruise stop day.
Well, if you are on a cruise and you're getting off in Halifax, and lots of cruises do, there seems to be more and more cruises coming to Halifax every single year, and you
Yeah.
get that ice cream because I think that's a wonderful idea.
Oh, I love their ice creams along the
Well,
waterfront
I'm
better
dying
than
to
any, I
ask
think.
you, did you ever sample the flavor Moon Mist ice cream? Does that
Do you
ring
know
any
what I
bells?
think my kids did? I think my kids did. They loved all those weird and wonderful flavors, but I just stick to what I know. I'm quite a wimp.
Well, I would recommend Moon Mist for any visitors because it is like quintessentially Maritimes. I don't even think you can get it. In fact, I know because I've lived in other parts of Canada, and when I have, I've gotten homesick for flavors that remind me of home. And one of those is Moon Mist ice
Oh,
cream. And
oh,
it's been
no.
around for like ever. Like our great grandmothers could have had Moon Mist ice cream, and it's three flavors. It's banana, grape, and bubble gum, and so it's yellow and purple and blue, and it's all swirled together. And I think that combination on the surface doesn't sound great, but kind of like donair sauce, it's not the ingredients, it's the result. It tastes really good. So
Oh, yeah, I'll trust you on that one, I think.
let's talk about donairs. Did you eat donairs when you were in Nova Scotia?
No, I put on enough weight as it was, Dave.
Oh,
I
I
lost
see.
so much weight before I came back home.
And you came back on
So,
Queen Mary 2, which is like a food festival as well.
I
So that must
know
have been hard on
I
you.
lost like 2 stone, and then I think I put it all back again on that ship.
Well, I mean, when you think about Canadian food, what foods come to mind? What do you like? What do you not like?
Oh, do you know what? I miss some things. I think my kids miss a lot more than me. I mean, I kind of I miss things like in Superstore. Was that a
Hmm.
superstore? Is that the name
Yeah,
of the?
yeah.
Yeah. They used to have beautiful big cheese and like tomato dip for chips, crisps. And we used to buy that whenever we had parties at our house because it was just this huge dip and it was gorgeous. It was like $10, but it was so worth it. Um, um, yeah, I mean, I don't really, I mean, anything I eat there, we can kind of get here really, but I've never found that tip here. I could probably make it myself, but it's not the same.
I'll have to bring you some the next time I cross the pond. I didn't
Oh,
know you had a love for this dip.
do they still do it?
I don't know, but I'll keep an eye out for you and I'll let you know when I come. I'll pick it up and I'll put it on ice. And, fortunately, from here in Atlantic Canada, we have such quick crossings to England and we can get over there in just a few hours. From St. John's, our seasonal flight to Gatwick, you can be across the pond now in less than 5 hours.
Yeah,
So we're closer than ever before.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good.
I
That's
want to
really good.
talk about another moving a bit more further west, but not all the way to the west, to the St. Lawrence River in through Quebec, because I think I'm seeing a lot more cruising again in small ship cruising. that are calling into places like Quebec City, Montreal, the Saguenay, and even working their way up the coast to get up towards Labrador and northern parts of Canada. Quebec is interesting because it's a French speaking province. Did you visit Quebec at all when you were in Canada?
No, do you know what? I really regret that, but I'm gonna hit that on a cruise ship. I am because Quebec, I've heard so many wonderful things. It's just supposed to be quintessentially, you know, well, French really,
Oui,
and has
oui.
a lot of their kind of culture there in Quebec. Um, so yeah, that's definitely something I want to do. As I've been to Montreal only for a couple of days, but we did, visited some of that, but no, not Quebec yet.
Get a little bit further with it. Quebec City, I think, for visitors just strikes them because it has such a historical charm.
Yeah.
And again, it's becoming more and more seen on the cruise circuit. Even our lovely Queen Mary 2 calls in on her fall itineraries when the colors of the forests are so beautiful. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, that's a nice
That's
one. Going further north, one thing I have obsession with now, and I wasn't obsessed with it until fairly recently, is the Northwest Passage. And so the idea of going across from the Arctic, well, through the Arctic, from the Atlantic to the Pacific. You know, what got me really obsessed about it a couple months ago, I read that there's only been fewer than 500 successful ship transits of that passage in human history. Less than
wow.
500. I love something rare. So that immediately clicked for me.
You do love something rare. It always seems a bit too chilly for me.
Well,
I tend to follow the sun.
yeah, I mean, if you get up there at the right time of the year, you could be there for a solstice. You're going to get a lot of sun, but
Yeah.
I don't think the temperatures are going to be giving you what you're looking for. So,
No, they just
no.
won't be there.
But for a rarer
Beautiful
slice
though.
of Canada,
Yeah.
that's it. And then if we go to Western Canada, something that's not necessarily on the water, but I think, Lorraine, you have an obsession with it, is that Rocky Mountaineer
Oh,
experience.
if this isn't on anyone's bucket list, it should be. This is the
Agreed.
ultimate adventure I mean, I've not been to Calgary or any of the prairies. Um, so just to go to Calgary, and I really want to stay in the Banff Springs Hotel. That's just, I don't know why, just these dreams you have as a kid, you see it and you just want to go there no matter what. So, Lake Louise, I want to head through those Rockies. I want to see it all from the train. That has got to be number one. And Ian and I, thankfully, we're on the same kind of boat in this regard. We've both got this dream to travel. He's been to the Rockies, but he would love to do the Rocky Mountaineer through there
Yeah,
and head out across to Vancouver, where of course, you've got Vancouver Island, Victoria, and all the charm of Victoria. And and then of course, you board your ship and you head up into the Inside Passage to the beautiful big country of Alaska and everything wonderful that's up there.
totally. I think that's a great combination to do the Rocky Mountaineer because it brings you to Vancouver and then to continue the journey. Because especially if you've come overseas to be
Yeah,
here, get the full experience.
yeah,
And I think Alaska is a natural choice, and we get a lot of cruises, of course, that go up from Vancouver. But within Canada as well, there's an area that is in the Inside Passage that's a dream of mine. And that's the Queen Charlotte Islands, the Haida Gwaii area, which is just rich in Indigenous culture and art. And these forests have been described as the Canadian Galapagos because they are misty and they're not like the cold forests you might associate with. And they even have white bears that are there. I'd love to see a white bear. So,
I wouldn't like to see any bear up close, but from a distance,
of
I'm with
course,
you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I'm not traipsing in the woods and come onto the bear. No, I'm on my cabin having my coffee, waking up in the morning, and the bear is catching some salmon. That's what I'm there for.
So how do you get to that island?
So there are some small cruise operators that can get into there. These are the type of islands that can only be visited by small ships, and that's done because of the geography. The islands don't necessarily have the biggest of bays, and so big ships can't come. But
Yeah,
also, the local population's just been really careful with setting up tourism in a way that supports the indigenous communities and the lifestyle there, and so they're not looking to get overrun. And
yeah,
so a lot of the other, bigger cruises, they'll be heading straight up to Alaska, and that's wonderful. There's nothing wrong with Alaska cruising. But these Queen Charlotte Islands in northern British Columbia, I think, are something that if you look at it, you're going to be like, wow, I didn't know Canada had that dimension to it.
I'm gonna research that because I've honestly never heard of them in my whole time. So I'm gonna research that and, maybe add that to my list too. Why not? My list is so long that I might as well add something else.
Well, and that's it with Canada, and it's so big. And the thing of Canada that, especially having lived here all my life, I'm seeing new cruise opportunities continuously pop up. The Great Lakes are becoming more
Yeah,
visited by cruises, some really cool
yeah,
itineraries. And you wouldn't think maybe Ontario as a cruising destination, but those lakes are so large that
yeah.
they're perfect for small ship.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would definitely do that on a small ship, 100%. And, go and do Niagara Falls and everything again. I haven't been there since I was a teenager. So, that's if that's, welcoming small ship cruising, then you could just make your whole way across Canada at this point.
Pretty much. I mean, you're going to get into a showstopper into the prairies. Sorry, Saskatchewan. And I've spent years living in Saskatchewan, but not a lot of cruises happening there. I
No.
did do a cool river boat experience in Saskatoon. It's like a dinner on like a paddle steamer.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah, for an evening, we can get you on the water in Saskatchewan, but we can't get you across. Uh, But also next to Saskatchewan in Manitoba, you can go up to Churchill, which is a really cool spot for seeing polar bears, and that's on the Hudson Bay. So that definitely has a water element to it. And there's really cool train
Oh.
journey that you can do up from Winnipeg, and that takes you up along Lake Winnipeg, which is a large inland body of water. So that takes us to Manitoba, and by Jove, I think we've talked about every single province and territory here in our O Canada episode. I just love that.
I think we have, and it makes me forget, having lived in just a small part of it, it's so vast. And sadly, when we live in there, circumstances meant that we didn't have the finances to do all the traveling we wanted to do across. But actually, now that we're back in England, we are looking to definitely head across Canada one day, and it won't be too far off in the distance either. We want to come back and visit friends as well. So combining all that, it makes it really worth it for us, to come back and do Canada like that.
Well, based on the conversation today, I think you're going to need at least 6 months and a really good travel agent to plan that trip. And of course, I know you could plan the trip for yourself as a really good travel agent because people, if you haven't figured it out, that's exactly what we are. We are travel agents who love travel. And if you're interested in connecting with me, I serve people clear across this glorious country. My name is Dave Wentworth, and you can find me at destinationwhatever.com.
I'm Lorraine McCowart at bespokecruiseholidays.co.uk, and hopefully we can talk about Canada cruises real soon.
All right, everybody. Well, as we get ready to wrap up, I want you to be thinking about Canada. I want you to be thinking about the flavors, the essence of Canada. And of course, I think about poutine. Lorraine, you want to explain that for people who might not know?
Do you know, I never knew what poutine was before I went to Canada. I don't know. Maybe I'm just totally out of it. I don't know. I think Northern Englanders kind of know about poutine more than Southerners. But
Right,
anyway, for anyone that doesn't know, it's chips and gravy and cheese curds.
right.
Is there anything I'm missing?
No, that's it. And it's just all slopped together and it's hot and cheesy and ooey and gooey. And I don't know, to me it sounds like the food I would want in Northern England. So I could see why Northerners might
Yeah,
be
I
familiar
do
with
love
it.
chips and gravy, and actually, I did eat poutine when I was in Canada, so that's something else I did eat, and I
Well,
really enjoyed that.
it's been exporting. We're getting known for that, like Tim Hortons and Celine Dion and our other cultural exports. So yeah. Oh, Canada. Well, folks,
Oh, we love you. We
I
love
love you
you.
too.
Happy Canada Day, everybody. Take care. See you
Take
soon.
care. Bye for now.
Bye. Bye. That's it for today's voyage on the ship less traveled.
Stay connected, follow our Facebook group, and share the podcast with your cruise loving friends.
For listeners in the UK, you can find me at bespokecruiseholidays.co.uk.
And for listeners on my side of the pond, I'm destinationwhatever.com.
We're passionate about small ship cruising, and we're not afraid to make some waves.
So join us next time on the ship less traveled.